the icon is clicked for the first time or when it is clicked, then the system triggers a service or a process which is called as the AMS service. So what this AMS service does is, it is called as the activity manager service. So what this does is it checks whether any process for this application is running or not. If it is, then it brings the application to the foreground. But if it is not, then it calls another process, which is the Zygote process. Zygote is the very first process which is called by the Android system after the kernel is initialized. So what Zygote process does is it preloads the runtime environment, it loads the various Android libraries into the memory. So what it does is it forks itself, Zygote, and it creates a process in which the application will run. And by the time all this is happening, like the libraries are loading, the runtime environment is loading, the AMS is calling the Zygote, another service called as the window manager service is called by the system. So what this Windows manager service does, it shows a white color default splash window on your screen until all the loading is going behind the scenes. And mind you, this is not on the main thread. This is all happening on the system process, and which is why you cannot make much changes on this window, except for colors and other stuff like this. So also, while this window manager service is displaying the default splash screen, the system also prepares the application for the launch, and which is why it starts reading the metadata. Here, the metadata is nothing but your manifest file. So when all this has been done, then the system calls the app's application class. And this is the very first time when UI main thread is called. And after this, depending upon what you have defined on your metadata in your manifest file, the particular activity gets called. So how does Android communicate with Flutter is, Flutter framework has made their own container, which is called as the Flutter activity. So this container gets displayed on the Android window. So by this, it is very obvious and it's very clear that Flutter activity works on the UI main thread and hence the web channel as well. But the question now here is, and here is a twist, that is Flutter Engine and Flutter activity same, or Flutter activity is just a small part of the Flutter Engine? So we'll discuss this in our next video, wherein I will discuss the other two options, that is with the service option and the other with the worker manager. So see you there.